Now, if you've never knit before, then the first step is learning how to cast on. And there are many, many different ways to cast on. In this class, we will focus on the Longtail cast on. But if you're curious about some of those other cast-ons, I have an entire series of free videos on how to do several different cast-ons, and they're actually at my website. You can go to kellyslackdesigns.com, and that link will be available in your class materials. There is an entire page of tutorials all about how to do different cast-ons, so you can actually watch videos from me on how to do those other cast-ons. But for this class, we really want to focus on the Longtail cast-on. So I'm going to shift and show you how to do that. Now that we are ready to cast on, it's important that you have your yarn and your needles. And remember, you can use straights. You don't have to use circular needles. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to pull out enough yarn to have a long tail, because that is why this is called the Longtail cast-on. So you'll want to pull out at least enough to cast on 20 stitches, and sometimes that can be difficult to know. You'll need about 3 times the width of your project's worth of tail. I know that sounded really strange, but for example, we are going to be knitting a 6-inch square, so you'll need at least 18 inches of tail. The next thing you need to do is make a slip knot. And I make slip knots in kind of a funny way, but you can make your slip knot however you want. Once you have your slip knot ready to go, you are just going to insert your needle into that slip knot and tighten it down. Now, we have to remember not to cast on too tightly because that will make our edge very tight as well. So our goal is always to cast on and then tighten the stitch down just enough, but not too much, because then it makes it difficult to knit or purl our first row. So once you have this ready, you're going to go ahead and set yourself for a longtail cast on. So that means your ball thread needs to come over your index finger. Ball thread, index finger, okay? The tail thread, remember this was our tail, dangly little tail, is going to go over our thumb. So tail thread on the thumb, ball thread on your finger. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to shift your hand a little bit and sort of make this M shape. So you can see here's one and here's the other side of our M. Now we're actually going to get ready to perform our cast on. And you'll notice that I like to hold the tail and the ball thread under my pinky. I think it's a lot easier when I do that for me to cast on. So ball thread on the index finger, tail thread on your thumb, held down by your pinky, and here is our needle ready to go. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the tip of your needle, you're going to put it under the outside loop of your thumb and lift. You're going to go over the inside loop of your index finger and pull that loop through the one on your thumb. Then you're going to remove your thumb and very carefully tighten and pull down so that you now have 2 stitches on your needle. So let's try that again. We go under the outside loop on our thumb, over the inside loop on our finger, and pull that through. Then release the loop on our thumb and tighten that down. And now we have 1, 2, 3 stitches. So one more time. Under the outside loop on the thumb, scoop under the inside loop on our index finger, drop the loop from our thumb, and tighten that down. Now we have 4 stitches. So you're going to keep going with your longtail cast on until you have cast on the required number of stitches for our first block, which is 32 stitches. I'll see you at the next lesson.